calling all members of the Pennine Amateur Radio Group for the digital lesson Thursday evening. We've got a few of us logged on this evening, and I'll go down the list in the original order as it appears on the website there. So, first of all there, G0TVB in the group. Are you joining us this evening, Paul? M0AUG. Over to David, M0TGC, a new member to the group. Good evening, David. M0AUG in the group. M0AUG in the group. M0TGC, good evening. Is President correct? Thanks for that. I'm glad you were able to join us anyway. Now, I know Jim dropped out and came back in again, but I'm taking you in the original order, Jim. G4JBA in the group. M0AUG, good evening. Yeah, GBA, good evening to you and to the group. Back to you. Okay, thank you, Jim. Another new member this evening, we've got Marek on there. M7SZY in the group. M0AUG, good evening, Marek. Hi, M7SZY returning to M0AUG in the group. Good evening, friends. Yes, this is Marek for us from Mirisonet. Thank you, Marek, and good to have us on. I know he's been pretty busy in the WhatsApp group as well. Okay, to Scotland now. GM4JKZ in the group, M0AG. Good evening, Keith. Good evening, one and all. And running through them quite quickly this evening. Temperature up here, 8.4 degrees. Although Bob's going to probably upset me and tell him it's really a heat wave over there in a minute. And radio-wise, just briefly, just worked the G4IWO's Worldwide Ricky contest at the weekend. Had a great time, I must admit. 415 contacts, just under 224,000 points. Raw points at the moment. And some of the desirables were Cayman Island, Colombia, Belize, Ecuador, Guam. So had a good time at all. So with that, back to you there. M0AUG in the group, GM4JKZ. M0AUG returning. Thanks for that, Keith. I'm good to have you on this evening. I'm going to go to the lunch in a minute now. I know you logged in and then logged out again, but I'll pick you up after Mike and Adriana. So DL1BJW with DL8 BDT in the group. M0AUG, good evening to you both. Yeah, very good evening to all. This is Delta Lima 1 Bravo Juliet Whiskey. Nice to be part of the round here again. And congratulations about the results in the Ricky contest. We also played a little bit around with the RTT Warp contest, really taking part, but trying to reach stations there. Were a little bit restricted because of thunderstorms, and so we had to take down the outside antennas, and we're working with the indoor dipole. It's an interior dipole for 10 to 40 meters in the attic, below the roof, below the tiles in the roof there, and it was working well. We had a lot of contacts into Northern and Southern America, and also into China, and I finally succeeded in working Victor Kilo 9 Delta X-ray Norfolk Island, and that was a real highlight there, and I was very glad about that. So that's the news. WX wise here, it's also very cold here, 9 degrees centigrade plus at this moment. In daylight times it was 13, I think. Celsius, and so winter has really come. It's quite cold, not only outside, but also a little bit in the house here. So we have to put on the heating system and hope that it will be not too cold at the night each night. So passing the microphone to Delta Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango.
Yeah, that's Delta Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango for the group. Very good evening to all of you. Very good to hear you all, and Steve, congrats to your very, very good results of the written contest. Yes, I have nothing special to report. Last weekend from Saturday to Monday, we had been at the seaside flat, and there we turned up our crisscross and fed antenna and made some contact. Mike had CUP station, helicopter station with him, and this worked quite well with the NFAT on the balcony. He even worked the stage, the CW there with 5 watts only, and this is a very nice small setup, very portable and quite good. It's just a pity that the weather is turning up to be very cold, so there is no real possibility to try such things near the seaside outside. This must be very good, but it's a little bit too chilly here at the moment. So I hand the microphone back to M0AUG for the group. This was Delta Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango.
Lima Bravo Delta Tango with DL1 BJW. Thanks and good evening to you both, and hope you enjoyed the weekend away last week. Okay, we'll go to Yorkshire now and go back to Adrian. G6MJQ in the group. M0AEG. Good evening, Eddie. G6MJQ, Skelman, so West Yorkshire, overlooking Emily Moor. And the mast when you can see it. Oh dear, the weather's been terrible for a few days. Prior to sort of yesterday and today has been a lot better. We've had some sunshine, but a bit chilled during the night and again this evening. So heating on here. And my radio activities this week have been focused on the Shago's X6100 and updated Shago firmware, and then on top of that the R1 CBU Russian extended software that goes on the top. And I've updated that about 3 times in the last week. There's quite a bit of activity among the guys in Russia updating the software, particularly running FT8. And yeah, it's good fun and it's looking good. To start with, just with the Shago software update, the latest one, where there hasn't been an update for quite a few months. They tend to be a bit slow on that. Even with that, the radio was a lot better signal to noise ratio, etc. Some of the gremlins, better stability. I mean, but then with the Russian software on top of that, it's just a completely different transceiver. Running FT8 on, it restricts it to 5 watts, and probably one of the interesting ones was yesterday, V3IMA in Belize on 20 meters gave me a report of -14 dBs. And no problems at all with that. And I had to look at where Belize was because I didn't really know where it was, and then realised it was lower down just below in Central America, below Mexico. So quite pleased, but I've been picked up all over the place on 10 meters. Anyway, back to you, Jeff. M0AUG, G6FJQ. Thank you. Yeah, good evening, Radio, and thanks for the updates on the activities and the Shegu. And I know you are very, very much into all that. And if it's working for you, then that's absolutely fine. You've had some problems with this, I know, and you've got round them. And if you've got some new updates now that are okay, that's fine. Over to Frank in Kiel, DG6. OAY in the group, M0AUG. OAY in the group, M0AUG. Frank there, we'll move on to the next one. Andrew, down in my head, M0ROL in the group. Good evening, Andrew, M0AUG. AUG group, M0RO. Good evening, Jeff, and good evening, everyone that's on the net. Quite a few new call signs tonight. Apologies, I couldn't make last week net again. I did rattle off an email, and when I got home quite late at night, I realised I hadn't pressed send. So apologise about that, Jeff. I was planning to inform you that I couldn't make it. So I hope that everyone is keeping well, and weather here today has been absolutely glorious. It's been warm, a little bit of a breeze, but there's some really menacing black clouds. When I took the dog out for a walk about half an hour ago, I suspect that rain is on its way. But yes, certainly quite a nice day. So anyway, I'll pass it back to you, Jeff. M0AUG, the group, at M0ROL. ROL, the group M0AUG. Thanks for that, Andrew. Thanks for the contact earlier on as well. Right, over to Belgium now. And Jeff, before I forget, thank you very much for taking the net last week, and also thank you in anticipation for taking the next week, because on the Friday morning quite early, I'm off to the RSGB convention there. Appreciate your support on that one, Jeff. Last November, 8 November Tango in the group, M0AUG. M0AUG, the group. Oh, 8 November Tango, a very good evening, a very good day to everyone. And my pleasure, Jeff, no problem at all. And I hope you enjoyed the UR Hamfest. I think next week we will have little presentations, not on Wednesday, so really looking forward to that, to see what was happening there. And I heard that you and Ken and Nick did a fabulous job in promoting the club, so that's excellent. And one of the highlights certainly of this week was working up again, November 4 X-Ray Alpha Tango on board the battleship November 22 Bravo Bravo, and also in CW on 2 meters, and also working Ken in Spain 2 days ago, I think, or 3 days ago on an evening on 20 meters single sideband, so really very, very nice. And congratulations to Keith and to Mike for your participation in the RITI contest, and also to you, Adriana and Adrian, for all your experimentation and good contacts there. I did participate in the RITI contest, CQ Worldwide, in the QRP class, 5 watts, and I had 150 stages, nearly 148 or something. I didn't participate in the morning, so I missed the nice peaks, I think, but I was only available in the afternoon and in the evening, so quite happy with that result. And I just had some QSOs on FT4 on 12 meters working some West Coast stations at the US, quite strong actually, and quite easy to work them. So there are some conditions there on 12 meters in the evening also. So more news on the next over, Jeff. Mike 0 AUG de Grupo in 8 November Tango. The Tango in the Group M0 AUG return. Yeah, fine. Thanks again for that, Jeff. And yeah, we thoroughly enjoyed ourselves last weekend. And I don't know how much Nick wants to fill you in at this stage. Perhaps just a brief contact next home, and obviously we can don't detract from anything for next Wednesday's evening. G4IW in the group M0 AUG. Good evening, Nick, and thank you for your company.
M0 AUG in the group from G4IWO. Yeah, good evening to everybody, and obviously a big welcome to Marek M7 SZY, and of course to David M0 TGC down there in the southwest. I think you're down in Devon, David. So good to have you on board this evening. And just very quickly, Keith, GM4JKZ, you did exceptionally well in the Ritty contest. I've hats off to you there in those contacts you made. And I'm probably never going to speak to Mike again after he managed to get VK9DX in the log. I spent a good 2 hours in the pile up on CW to work VK9DX, and never managed to make the contact. Although VK9DX that day was coming through very, very strongly indeed, 5859 signal. So I guess that every person could hear him and was calling. So it must have been some job in that 4 or 5 kilohertz window that he was looking in to make the contacts. But yeah, very jealous indeed, Mike, of your contact down there with VK9 DX. And to AD, I think you've inspired me, AD. I need to get out my Zygo X6100 and put the latest software on again and fire it up. And probably, if the truth is told, I'll probably pass it on. So I'll make it available for sale fairly soon if anyone is looking for a very, very nice little radio. It's got some foibles, as AD will tell you, but it looks good and very good. But it's never going to compete with my IC705 here. For last weekend at the Hamfest, I think it's true to say that Ken, Jeff, and myself had a really, really good day. It was great fun. It was great fun at the Hamfest. I logged 34 people who checked in to add themselves to the newsletter. Many of them want to join the club. Some just want to receive the newsletter. But I'm clarifying that in a special email I'm sending out to them in the next 24 hours, having painstakingly gone through the list and added them to our newsletter list, which is great. And we had some really interesting conversations, all three of us did, with people about Pennine Ham and what we're trying to do. And I've got no doubt whatsoever it was worthwhile going down there, and it's worthwhile putting our face up at other events as well. But more on all that next week. M0 AUG in the group, G4IWO.
Thanks for that, Nick. And it was a very enjoyable day there, and we met lots of people, and obviously he'll give us a full breakdown of the meeting on Wednesday there. Over to you there, Bob. November 4XL for Tango in the group, M0 AUG. All is well with you, Bob. I think this is the longest list that I've seen of combined listeners and people that are actually talking. First of all, Mike and Adriana, I'm sorry that I did not see you on FTA on the other day. I have been doing quite a bit of FTA, especially on 10 meters. Recently, that's been opened, and it's getting more and more difficult for me to do my parks on the air, as I'm now up to 1197, and it's hard to get new parks, believe me. Second of all, X-ray Alpha Tango in the group M0AUG. Bob, you dropped out in the middle of that over. Do you want to try again, please? Or X-ray T in the group M0AUG. Bob will be done next time round. Maybe he had a power supply issue or something. So we'll go straight to the top of the list. But before that, is there anybody listening on GB7HX who wants to come into the meeting this evening? Mike 0, Alpha Uniform Golf. Those new to the group, one of the repeaters in Anfield, GB7HX, is linked to this reflector, and it's particularly during the time when the D-Star net is on a Thursday evening, and it defaults to the reflector there, but if anybody else changes it, then obviously when the net is finished, it defaults back to us. Thank you for Malcolm to making this available to us. So back down to you there, David, and yeah, you're top on the list again at the moment. M0TGC in the group, M0AUG. M0AUG. Good evening, everybody. Nice to be in the event tonight, especially it's my first time, and I'm running a DMR hot handy into a price star. And I spent a few days, the last couple of days, trying to work out how to reconfigure and work into this nevertheless excellent reflector. So if anybody is having the same sort of issues, obviously not on the next night, they wouldn't be able to hear us, then I think I know roughly how to do it. QTH is Devon. East Devon on the Dorset-Devon border on the south coast. My main interests are HF, particularly on SVR, Red Battalion, and an aircraft K3, and I'm some of the RANAT. So that's a brief introduction to me. Unfortunately, I can't stay further over. I came on tonight because I wanted to decelerate actually getting on, but they choose me friends at about 8 o'clock, so this will be my final. But nice to be on, nice to talk to everybody, to hear everybody, and hope to be on in a couple of weeks' time. So thanks a lot. M0AUG in the group from M0TGC, back to you. M0TGC in the group, M0AUG returning. Yes, follow that, David, and I hope that the contact you had with Dave G610 was helpful to get you onto the net. It's great to have you on the net, and look forward to catching up with you in the future. So thanks for the introductions, and I won't bring you in next time around there. Over to you there, Jim, G4JBA in the group, M0AUG. Yeah, Golf 4 Juliet Bravo Alpha. Yeah, location, by the way, is Shoreham by Sea. That's between Worthing and Brighton on the sunny south coast. Yeah, it's been a sunny day, about 13 degrees down here. So it's nice to see the sunshine. Also worked the worldwide Ritchie contest, but only managed to get 185 because I couldn't work Saturday until the evening. But it's interesting the number of stations that we're on, and especially in the States. I think Keith would agree with me, and Jack probably, that it makes a change from just hitting the bar on the FT4 or FT8 and doing nothing. With Ritchie, you've definitely got to be active, and it does help. So we've got another one actually, the Uniden Club Ritchie contest is on tomorrow for 24 hours. It's an unusual time, a Friday, but we'll pop in and see what activities going on. So we'll see. Instead of a serial number, you're giving state or wherever you are in the UK. The locator I've got to send is SEE, South East England, which is capable all right in 1mm, which is the program I use. Anyway, we'll see what happens. I can't compete with Keith, but I'll try and keep up with him. But anyway, might as well put the net back to you. M0 AUG G4JBA Shoreham. The group M0AG returning a final month. Thanks for the contribution this evening so far there, Jim. Right, we'll go over to another new joiner this evening, Group 4 to Marek. M7SA would I in the group M0AG. Very thank you. The microphone M7SY to M0AG and the group. Good evening, gents and ladies. I don't know what is with us tonight. So, good evening. First of all, yeah, I'm one of the newest members of the club. Living very close to the city of Liverpool, Northwest United Kingdom. What else I can say for my activities? Yes, I've been active as well, likewise, Radio Wave. One of the interesting events we took part last week was 145 Alive, massive event nationwide in UK, 42 nets around the UK on 2 meter band. I was one of the net controllers for the Idiotka mic grid square, made at 110 contacts between 3 hours, refused 24 contacts. They were, when I checked properly, the coordinates were not correct. Basically, people were having no license, but they pretend to have license. Other than that, working with radio a lot in a spare time when I'm not working, in my job, of course. I'm not using my 705 tonight because it's in pieces, stripped down, replacing the charging board, if you guys are aware of, changing the standard A USB port to regular USB port, USB-C more likely. So that's why my 705 is in pieces right now. Very easy job to do it. Actually, I was doing it right before the net, so I will finish later on when I finish here. As well, I was testing my 10 meter Moxon yesterday, the day before. Great results, even 6 feet above the ground. I was easy making the contacts with stateside with really good radio reports using my 710 and 10 watts. So yeah, that's another good achievement. But also there's a few plans, few jobs, few projects in the pipeline. As some of you know, guys are building the hex beam, portable version of the hex beam, which will be available for the club members. And there's another project which I will tell you later on when I decide to go with it. So far so good. If anyone would like to ask questions or anything, just feel free, hit me on a WhatsApp group or email me via QRZ. Okay, microphone back to the chairman, M0AUG, M7ZYOV group. I'm Group M0AUG, Jenny. Thanks for your contribution, Mike, and it's good to actually speak to you on there. We know you're pretty active on the WhatsApp group and the activities there, and well done on becoming a member of Pennine and also joining this group as well. Very pleased to have you there. Over to Keith in Scotland now, GM4JKZ in the group. Before that, just want to acknowledge that Peter M0PBF has joined the group at the end. I'll bring you on, Peter, after Bob. So please stand by on that. GM4JKZ in the group, M0AUG. M0AUG in the group, GM4JKZ, returning. Yeah, I'm very jealous of Mike and Adriana as well working for K9TX. I did hear them, but the onslaught of the high-powered stations further to the south of us was I didn't have a chance basically. There we go. Just listening to Marek there, building his hex beam. It'd be nice to have some step-by-step photos to see how you're getting on. Would be quite useful to feed into the group here. So have a think about that one. And yeah, the Ritty contest tomorrow, excuse me, is a URC DX Ritty, and it's run by the Unicom Radio Club, which I actually joined on Monday, I think it was. It's free to join, it's a lifetime membership, and it's one that comes out of Scotland. So I thought it's a Ritty club, so I thought I'd join them just to see what's going on. I don't think there's many members at the moment because my membership number was 19, but they got a very nice certificate of membership, so it's probably worth it joining for that one. But we'll see how we go tomorrow. The report is 599 and your territory. So as Jim was saying, he's SEE for South East England, and I'm STO for Scotland, of course. But there are different areas of Scotland with different codes, and believe it or not, there's actually a code for a famous island out 200 miles off of Scotland that should remain nameless at the moment. But that surprised me. But it's worth me having a go and just to see what happens. I think part of the problem may be that people won't understand what the report content should be, but we'll see. And David down there in East Devon, Raynet member. I used to be in Raynet when I was in Sussex, and Jim JBA is still a Raynet member. So that's three of us that had some dealings with it, for sure. Okay, I think that's it for the moment, so I'll put it back to you there, Jeff, M0AUG in the group, GM4JKZ. Group M0AUG returning, I find it like you. Ritty is something I've never bothered with, to be honest with you, and I know nothing about it or even something like FTA, so well done on all you do, but it's not something that I've even dabbled in at this stage, so we'll see where you go from there. Over to Germany again, Kill1 PJW with dealing BET. Over to you there, Mike, please. Yeah, thank you. There's only my one Bravo Juliet whiskey. First of all, very interesting topics today. That's really fun to listen and to hear all the ideas and schemes there. And a big welcome to David, Jim, and Eric, of course. And a word to Keith, I think, who mentioned membership numbers. I saw that my membership number in the Pennine Ham Radio Club is 0007. So it's not 007 was a license to kill, but 0007 was a license to solder, HI. So I think that's quite hilarious. Another thing, FD8, was quite a lot of FD8 activity this week, and I've been looking for one station literally for months now, and finally I could work him with 50 watts on 10 meters and the NZ half wave outside. It was Romeo India 1 Alpha November Echo. That's Antarctica station from the south, and I was very happy to get the contact made there, and it took me quite a while to get this completed, but it was very nice. And as I said, from time to time, 10 meters is really surprising. Then we encountered some periods where nothing works on 10 meters apparently, but it's always up and down, and if it is working, it's really something wonderful. So I'm glad about that. By the way, I think in one of the last meetings I mentioned having acquired a Chinese clone of the USDX rig, which is a tiny 10 to 80 meter transceiver, and it's literally working from 1 to 5 watts. That's on 12 meter today with 3 watts and had an SSB contact to Echo Alpha 5 station with 4 and 3, which gave me with a Rybakov antenna, which is, as you know, ground mounted and outside in the garden, being 4.9 meters high or long, and mounted directly on the surface there. So quite very satisfied with the outcome there. The Rybakov is doing a good job, but of course, being a vertical, it also attracts all sorts of noise from the neighborhood, and this is something to be reckoned with, but in the long run, it's a very good DX antenna. I'm astonished about that. I will be doing more experiments with it. So, long over, passing the microphone to Delta Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango.
Delta Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango for the crew. Yes, it's quite interesting to hear all the news from all of you, and yes, congrats to Nick, Jeff, and Ken for the very great job they did at the Hamfest. And I saw the video Nick you made and put it in the WhatsApp group. It's quite interesting, so we are looking forward to see more about it. And we had just figured out that there had been some videos on YouTube about the handsets from various YouTubers, and we followed them all, and it was quite interesting. So I could imagine how it must be there in the Great Hall, and with all the stores there. It must be very, very interesting, and it's quite amazing that you made so many contacts to various hams had joined the mailing list and probably were joining the club. This is quite amazing. And yes, Jeff, all the best for participation on the RSVP convention next week. This must be very interesting. I think during the Corona times, we had seen some of the videos from the convention. I think it was in 2021 or so. This has been very interesting, so it must be great to be there and to be able to see all these interesting things and guys there in real life. So on my side, I have nothing spectacular to write home about, so I have the microphone back to M0AUG.
Thank you both for your contributions, and also, yeah, it was very, very worthwhile at Newark, and I think we'll tell us all more about that at the meeting next week. And yes, the convention's interesting. Apart from, I think it was one for COVID or maybe two, I've been to all the conventions now since 2012, and obviously the 2013 one was particularly interesting because that was the centenary of the RSGB. Yeah, the various meetings go a bit, also the people you meet while you're down there at the centre, and I'm actually going down with another member from the Thornton Cleavers Amateur Radio Society, which is a local club up here, and he's had some operations on his eyes recently, so he asked me if I'd take him down. So on the Friday morning, we're going up very, very early and going down to Bletchley Park first of all. After we've been to Bletchley Park, we'll drive over to the convention centre, and that's the last time I'll use the car until the Sunday evening. So that's my plan anyway. It looks like Frank is disconnected there, so I won't bother calling him up. Over to you there, Andrew, M0RLL in the group, M0AUG. M0AUG in the group, M0RLL, yes, thanks, Jeff. Lots of interesting things going on tonight. As always, I haven't managed to get into any RTTY competitions yet. In fact, I only think I've made one RTTY exchange, so I must look into that one. I know that Jeff O&8 November Tango has sent me information on FL Digi that he uses, so I must look on it. Well, for long last, I managed to get out with the radio today. I've been looking for quite some while for a nice location which was an easy reach of Minehead, where I could get any sort of antenna up in the air without being interfered with walkers or horses or dog walkers and people like that. I've managed to now finally found a place on Bossington Beach, which is about a 10-minute drive from Minehead, and probably about a 20-minute walk to get halfway along the beach, away from the car park and any clear air, with the Portland marshes behind me and the right across. And I think the next place is Wales, and down the coast of the next port of call is America. And so I think I explained on WhatsApp with Jeff today. I managed to make some contact, including on 10 meters, a tour who was, I think, 200 or 300 kilometers inside the Arctic Circle. So we had a chat from in Norway. 7:05 just on 10 watts, infant half wave, and yeah, I had a great time. I'd be out there a lot more often now. When the tide's up, even better. It was at low tide, so you could still see the sea, but it was a way back. But no interference. And then talking on 7 meters with a chap up in Scotland. Someone started to actually play music on the frequency I was on, but the KRM didn't last too long. We managed to continue with our conversation, but there's always someone that wants to ruin Really appreciative of that. But good day, and that is my extent of the radio today from Acrobat U, Jeff, M0 AUG in the group, M0 ROL. The group M0 AUG, yeah, very interesting there, Andrew. And, interestingly, I did actually manage to work in on 20 meters last night, very briefly, just before the band started to go down. And we did have a contact on that as well. Over to you there, Jeff. Often remembering November Tango in the group M0 AUG. M0 AUG, the group for 8 November Tango. First of all, a very good day to David, to Marek, and to Jim, which are a little new participants here in the net. Very nice to have you here. And also a very good evening or very good day to the people on YouTube. I think YouTube is probably on. Nick, I'm not sure about that, but probably it is. So a very good evening also to the people on YouTube. And okay, absolutely, Ricky is one of my favorite modes, has always been, and I really enjoy that. And I must say, Marek, congratulations on your 145 Alive activation. I really like that idea. I think it's fantastic. So that's a good way to have some more actually some more QSOs on 2 meter band. And Mike, I'm really jealous. I'm chasing for Romeo India 1 Alpha November India 4 weeks now. I have not even heard them, so congratulations on that. But on the other hand, 6 meters, yesterday on 6 meters, I heard on FT8, I saw a Zulu Sierra 3 station. And they had a huge pilot, so I don't even tried it. But anyway, so some surprises going on 6 meter band. Really have to look to that from time to time. And congratulations, Andrew, on your activation on the beach. I saw the picture, really marvelous. No people, that's brilliant. Thursday morning, I was up very early, which is totally unusual. And on 20 meters, I heard the Zulu Lima 3 X-ray Delta in Japan that Mike is always talking about in CW. He was quite strong actually, but I tried to work him, but there was a lot of competition actually. A lot of Russians were calling him, so I probably was not strong enough. But anyway, I heard him, and a little bit later on 17 and 21 megahertz on 50 meters and 50 meters, I should say. I heard some VKs and some ZL, so the propagation was excellent. So I really should get up earlier in the morning, but that's good intention, but not always something that I realize. And this afternoon I went out with the car, and we had a little bit of a experiment with my APRS LoRa tracker, less than 100 milliwatts, and I was spotted by stations around me here between 12 and 28 kilometers. So that's really unbelievable. That's on 70 centimeters, of course. The tracker, I connected that to an antenna on my car, so that makes probably the difference. But anyway, 100 milliwatts and hertz over that distance is really unbelievable. And this while I was mobile, so I was driving around doing some shopping with T-Swale. Okay, one of my VK friends, that's maybe interesting for some of you, talked to me about his own glass antenna, which he's living in an apartment, also the 6th floor in Canberra in Australia. And he developed an on-glass antenna for 2 meter band, actually a G4 copy with adhesive cover, which he is sticking to the window. It's rarely visible. It seems to be something brilliant actually, if you are living in a difficult situation. And he has really very good results with that. He could join a repeater 30 kilometers away with 1 watt from his HP. So
And he sent me the plans, he sent me the description of that antenna. So if anyone is interested in that, just drop me a line. So Mike 0 AUG, the group, Owen 8 November Tango.
November Tango, the group, and 0 AUG returning. Thanks for all the information there, Jeff, as usual. We can always rely on you to find out these little wrinkles and things like that, and obviously the work you get published in PW, obviously echoes that as well. So thanks very much, Jeff. Over to you there, Nick. I never asked for on YouTube and not this evening, but perhaps you can comment on that. G4IWO in the group, M0AUG.
M0AUG in the group from G4IWO. Yeah, first of all, we are live on YouTube. My apologies for not mentioning that last time, and to say a good evening to those who are listening to us live, and those, of course, who later this week decide to have a listen to our digital net. I just added up the number of individuals who have so far come in to listen to the digital net at some time, and we've got 119 people who have listened to the net through YouTube at various points in the last month or so since we started running the Pennine Ham digital net. And I think that's very, very good and very interesting as well. Before I forget, we had Ken and I down at the Hamfest had a fascinating discussion with the guy in the UK who has made his own version of the big wheel antenna, the one that you may have seen advertised for 6 meters and 2 meters, and also there's a 10-meter version. I believe in Germany, Vimo have their own version of this that they sell, but Ken and I were chatting to the guy who runs the very small business in Essex, who runs the company Seacom, Charlie Echo, Echo, Charlie Oscar Mike. Just go and have a look at that. And he's a very nice guy and does a lot of detailed work on these antennas that he builds. And Ken was telling him that he had a long QSO on 2 meters sideband with a Delta Lima station who was running 4 of these big wheel antennas stacked together. And Ken said his signal was enormous, the largest signal on the band on an opening over to Germany on 2 meters a few weeks ago. And that was it's an interesting chat, and it's an interesting looking antenna that I wanted to mention. Before I also forget, for new people to the club who haven't spotted this, but our member Ken, G4VZV, now at the moment it's Echo Alpha 5 stroke VZV, is a very, very keen DXer. He loves working DX, and having been round to his home QTH and seen his cubicle quad antenna that was actually down the other day because of the winds, but seen where exactly his location for that, and as well, of course, as his Delta Loop Yagi for 2 meters. I think it's either 6 or 8 elements. I can see why he does so well working the DX. But Ken, when he posts up information on the club WhatsApp group of his activations on HF particularly, but also on VHF, he is very, very open to anyone from Denbydale calling in to work him. Always pleased to have a chat. And also, if he can, and it's possible, he will help you facilitate a DX contact. So where Ken is able to work the stations in the Pacific, like the South Cook Islands and so on, and is in QSO with them, Ken will pass on your call sign and enable that station to give you a call to see if you can make a contact. And to Marek, the 10-meter Moxon is a beautiful antenna. In fact, the Moxon is a beautiful antenna all round for the size of it and the gain that it gives. It is absolutely superb, and I'm glad you had a lot of fun on 10 meters with that the other day. For me, one of the highlights at the Hamfest was a very long chat with Jim, GM6DBJ, who lives on the Isle of Skye. Not many people live on the Isle of Skye, and he is one of the 2 radio amateurs on the island. And he is a fisherman, although he's given up his fishing business, but he still has a boat and goes out fishing. And he also has a very large croft on another small uninhabited island. He was very, very keen on Pennine Ham and joining us, and in fact has agreed to join us as a free member. But unfortunately, he's one of the tutors on the Bath Distance Learning Group who have been so successful in getting radio amateurs through to the full amateur radio license in the UK. And those meetings and the individual tutorial groups, and he's running one of those, take place on a Wednesday night. And so Jim was saying that's a real pity because he would like to take part. So back to you, Jeff. M0 AUG in the group, G4IWO.
Middle naked, I think he went Pennine Ham as well. And Ken was able to assist on that. And yeah, it was really good to be in Ken's company on Saturday out the Hamper. More about that next week. Over to you there, Bob. I don't know what happened last time. You suddenly dropped out. Remember 4 extra Alpha Tango in the group. M0 AUG.
M0 AUG from G4IWO. I saw that Bob came up. He was obviously trying to reconnect during my over there, Jeff, and he's now not on the dashboard for Module D. So if we just keep an eye out for him and call him back in when he pops again, because he's obviously had some connection problems. M0 AUG, G4IWO.
Thanks for that, Nick. I'll keep a watch on the dashboard anyway. I'll see you there, Peter. M0 PBF, M0 AUG. Back in the group, M0 AUG. Time to start to go towards the top of the group. I start to wind down to finals. So David obviously signed off this evening, and he was very welcome. And I know he's still listening there, maybe. So thanks for joining the group this evening, and we look forward to catching up with you again next week, hopefully. Over to you for your final, Jim. Julia Bravo Alpha in the group, M0 AUG. Yeah, go for Julia Bravo Alpha. Okay, all copied there, and a lot of information being passed around. Yeah, regarding Rizzy, we've all got our pet modes, so it's horses for courses. And yeah, with my wrist, I can't do any CW. So, and I did struggle. But there we go. It's one of those things that but been a Rizzy man most of my amateur radio career, especially when Keith was down here in Sussex. We had a little contest group and had some good times on top of the downs with a bell tent and cross 10 at about 30 feet, which in a bit of a gale. But that was in the past. I don't think we could do it today. Physically, I think, as well as it's all National Trust now. Anyway, yeah, Andrew's location down there is near Minehead. It sounded really nice to get a good good signal out there. Sort of reminiscent of Ken Reset B, I think it is. On the WhatsApp group, he gets out well. So more power to the signals down there. Okay, well I'm gonna listen round, but this is my final. So I'll say stay well, stay safe to the group, and pass the net back to you, M0AUG. Yeah, contribution of the feelings, yeah. It's good to have you on that as well. Better to be able to hook up with Keith as well, who's been a regular of this group pretty well from the beginning there. So thanks a lot, Jim, and hope to catch up with you next week. M0AUG in the group. Back to you there. That's why I think it is, Marek. Okay, thank you. As that why returning to M0AUG and the group for the final. Okay, well I can say you guys get me thinking, and I was actually browsing quickly for the RTT software for my Mac, and I will give it a go. I will hook up my 705 to the Mac and try just find two pieces of software which I can use for RTT. And I will give it a go, see how that works for me. You get me interesting, you know, if you spark the interest in me, I won't give up. I'm just gonna carry on with it. Never done it. I actually set that on the WhatsApp group. I've never done RT or any other smaller digital mods on HF. So that's interesting. I will try. What else? Yes, Harvest. Guys, congratulations. I was actually wanted to say I was watching a few videos past the Harvest. And guess what? You were in the videos. I will try to dig them out in my history on the YouTube, and I pass you over on the WhatsApp Messenger. So you can see yourselves there. People were doing walkarounds and recording nice videos about the Harvest, the new and so on. So yeah, definitely nice, and yeah, good to hear it was a big interest about our club. So I'm very happy and pleased. And as the gentleman mentioned, yes, I will try to document as much as possible. I already started doing some images, pictures for the basic items when I was buying them, and so on. And later on, when I will start building, yes, I will do like a step-by-step tutorial for the most components, you know, the difficult ones. I'm not talking about soldering the wire, but you know, designing and 3D printing elements which I'm planning to use with both. So that's my goal. Okay, I will say 7 degrees, and thank you for the great net, and very nice to meet you all tonight. I'm looking forward for the next chat. Unfortunately, next week I'm working afternoon shift, so I won't be able to be on a net physically. I'll be listening on my headphones at work, but I won't be able to transmit. And I will try to be more active on the bands in the daytime. We'll see how it goes. For now, 7 degrees for M7ZY, and microphone back to the chair, M0AUG. And why in the group M0AUG is standing. Sorry, I got the last one TV calls from a mixed up there. I'm all crippling on the band there, American. Yeah, just for that. Good to have you all this evening, and I know you can get on with work times as well. Thanks for your contributions on the WhatsApp group as well. And we look forward to catching you up on this net when can we with a year of the commitment. Oh, to you to your final there, you speak some JQ in the group. Sorry. Should be to my dad Shalafest. L1 BJW with DLAPET in the group. M0AUG. Take it away, please, Mike.
There's only one Bravo Juliet Whiskey with the final. Yes, first of all, thank you very much, Jeff, for doing an excellent job and hosting the net. And thank you all for your contributions and good ideas and interesting news there. It was a great evening again. Looking forward to the next one. So all our best wishes for you and yours. Stay safe, stay healthy, and hope to see you again safe and sound next week. Passing the microphone to Delta Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango.
Yeah, this is Delta Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango with the final. Thank you very much for this interesting evening, and thank you, Jeff, for hosting the net. I wish you all the best for this week. Good DX, and hope to meet you down the log or next week on Zoom and on digital net. So 73 and 88 from Northern Germany. This was Delta Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango, handing the microphone to M0AUG.
With DL1 BJW in the group. Thanks so much as usual for having on the net this evening, both of you, and the contributions. And as I mentioned earlier, Jeff, Oscar November 8 November Tango was running the route because I'm off quite early down towards Bletchley Park and then to the convention next Friday morning. So thanks in advance for that, Jeff, and much appreciated. Thanks for your contributions, Mike and Adriana. 73 and 88, and look forward to catching you again. Over to you there, AD. Example in the group, M0AUG.
M0AUG, G4IWO's. Well, what a varied range of topics this evening. Absolutely fascinating. That's what all Pennine Ham is about, I guess. Well, I know. Yes, and Nick, dig out your 6100. Load up the latest Zygo software, firmware, and also load up the R1CBU software. If you can find it on GitHub, it's a bit of a challenge to find the various pieces of R1CBU images, etc. But if you need a hand finding it, let me know. But once you've done that, you can run ST8 without a computer, just with the 6100. And I was playing with Ritty the other day when the contest was on, but not a lot of success there. I need to revisit that. Never tried Ritty in my life before. And yeah, so I'd be interested on your comments having done that. It's a completely different radio once you've done that. And there's one or two guys in Russia working on this. So you can find the software on the GitHub in the various places. But as I say, it's not easy. And the thing to start looking at now is 80 meters, 6 in the morning or before, for the grey line propagation. New Zealand is starting to come in, and stations from the States as well. So that's the top end of 80 meters with the grey line propagation. Especially over to New Zealand, that side. So with that, centuries, everybody, thanks for sharing, Jeff, and hopefully try and get on next week. M0AUG G6MJQ.
G6MJQ in the group M0AUG, and thanks for your contribution this evening there, Eddie. Look forward to catching up with you either on Sunday or next week. And Keith, apologies, I did miss you out in the batting order then, I'll keep a scribble on my notepad there. And also Bob, M4X-Ray T, I've noted you back on that, I'll pick you up towards the end there, Bob. So over to you then, Keith, your final. GM4JKZ in the group, M0AUG. M0AUG in the group, GM4JKZ, yeah, okay, no problem. And thanks for running the net tonight, appreciated. Just a couple of things. Mike, over in Germany, your serial number is 0007. I think someone has an idea that we might get more than 1,000 members but we'll keep our fingers crossed. Thursday night could be tricky though with that number. And Andrew, MZRL, I think you said Ossington Beach. If you did, I've been there a couple of times to walk the dogs, and it's a lovely beach down there through the National Trust area and Tudor Cottage. So yes, I know it quite well, I must admit, when I was living down in Corfe, just north of Taunton there. Really, for those that want to give it a try, usually I would suggest contest time. It tends to be quite quiet other times because many people have migrated to FT4 and FT8. So bear that one in mind. And the last, one of the other little things that I'm moving into now, I've just taken delivery of an ESP32 camera board, so that I can set it up in my bedroom window and remotely monitor my vertical to see how much it's bending, which saves me, when it is windy, shooting down there every half an hour to have a look at it. So that's a little job I'm sorting out before the weekend. So with that, we do have a photo at the end. I'll tell you what it is. It's how a professional originally wired my central heating, underfloor heating control panel. And I've got a new one, and I've reworked out a much better way of doing it. So with that, back to you there, Jeff. M0AUG in the group from GM4IWO's.
Yeah, fine enough. As usual, we look forward to receiving your picture at the end together with the one that usually comes from Jeff in Belgium. Thanks for your contribution this evening. Look forward to catching up with you next time. Over to you, Field Line Manager, M0ROL in the group, M0AUG.
M0AUG in the group, M0ROL. Yes, Keith, it is Ossington Beach, with the National Trust all around, from the locals and the other people around there. Yeah, it's a great place. It was pretty quiet. I also noticed there's a patch of sand exposed at low tide. So I think that next time I go down, I've got a chameleon antenna system. I think I'll take the vertical and with 4 counterpours or something, and see whether that will be any better than the end-fed halfway that I use. Although I do quite like the end-fed halfway, it seems to be quite good. Although it didn't actually tune on 40 meters today, which is it tuned with an ATU, but normally it's resonant at on 40 meters as well as 20 and 10. But for some reason, the SWR was a little bit out, so I need to play around with that one. So, but thank you, Jeff, for running the net. Always an interesting evening. Lots going on today, and welcome to the new members that come along tonight. It's always nice to have people around the country, and next time I'll have a longer chat with. I got a call sign. I think he said he was in Devon, East Devon, part of Raynet. So I'll have a chat with him in a bit more detail. So in the meantime, have a good week with your radioing, and I'll stay 73 and catch me next week. So M0AUG in the group. This is M0ROL. I look forward to catching up with you next week. I see that Zero PBN has dropped off the bottom of the list, so I'll call him afterwards. Over to Belgium now, and your final Jeff, apart from the picture which will come at the end of the conversation. Oscar November 8, November Tango in the group, M0AUG. M0AUG, the group for 8 November Tango. Yeah, okay, thank you very much, Jeff, for sharing the net. And I will be on the share next week, so no problem at all. I put it in my agenda in order not to forget. Okay, very, very interesting, Nick, about the big wheel. I remember I worked at a station in Bavaria, in Bayern, in Germany, which also has four big booths on top of each other, faced. I was indeed a very strong senior. Was in a contest also that I worked in a 2-meter SSD contest. So very nice. And okay, Marek, about RITI, there has been a program which has not been updated for years, I think, which is called Coca-Cola modem or something like that. But I think also FLDigi, you can work in FLDigi and Windows in Linux and in Macintosh, I think. So maybe that's also a good option. Anyway, what we could do is maybe try one evening having some tests to see if that is working right. For example, 40 meters, I think we all would be able to catch each other on 40 meters. So maybe that is something that we can do on an evening in the coming days, so to say, or weeks even. Okay, no, I would say 73, thank you very much. Really enjoyed that. And I see Bob is back again, Jeff, so maybe we will be able to hear some of Bob's news then. Mike 0 AUG, the group on 8 November 10, and I will put a picture on the end of the net about the fjord in Norway, Ichai. Over to you, Jeff.
November 8 November Tango in the group M0 AUG saying thanks a lot, Jeff, and thanks for your contribution as well, so for taking the net next week. I'm just going to jump out to order now and bring Bob in before I ask Nick to come in and do the wrap. So November 4 X-Ray for Tango in the group, M0 AUG. We lost you last time, Bob. Over to you.
0 AUG with the group November 4 X-Ray Alpha Tango. Apparently I'm having sporadic internet problems here, and I'm not sure where I dropped out. I believe I dropped out right at the beginning during my first transmission. If you could fill me in on about where I was, I'll try to pick it up from there, Jeff. Back to you from N4XAT.
N4XAT in the group M0 AUG. That's about right, Bob, so we'll start from the beginning. Back to you.
M0 AUG with the group November 4 X-Ray Alpha Tango. First of all, good evening to everyone and all the listeners. It looked like a long list, but I missed a lot of it. Apparently my internet dropped out, so I couldn't tell that. Even though I couldn't hear anyone, when it looks like I'm transmitting, it shows that I'm transmitting. First of all, Mike and Adriana, I'm sorry that we couldn't get connected in FT8 on 10 meters the other day. I looked for you, but I did not see you. But I have been doing a lot of FT8 recently. I'm running out of parts. I have 1197 now, and it's getting more and more difficult to find new ones. And second, Marek, you know, our curator aboard the battleship is Ryan Szymanski, and he's a great fellow. You should look on YouTube at some of his postings. He posts every day, Monday through Friday. He posts usually something about the battleship, a different part of the battleship. And with the same last name, I know that your last name comes, the original name came from the father's name, and the son of so-and-so. But I'm curious if possibly you're related even. And Keith, I think we should have mentioned the temperature. Well, it's 74 degrees Fahrenheit here, about 23.3 Celsius. But that's supposed to all change tomorrow. It's supposed to get cool again, high. Congratulations to Keith on that 250 RTTY contact. That is great. And I'm looking forward to next Wednesday to see some of the photos that were taken at the Hamfest. The original video that you sent was great. As a matter of fact, I saved a copy of it so I could review it again. But I'm looking forward to next Wednesday also. Let's see if I'm written down. I guess that's about all that's important. Thanks for running the net. I'm sorry that I missed it. Apparently there's sporadic internet here today. But thank you for running the net. And I look forward to seeing the other Jeff, I think, next week. M0 AUG with the group. This is N4XAT and 73 to all the listeners and all the people that are on the net. 73.
4x80 in the group M0AG returning. Yeah, no problem at all there, Bob. We got all the messages there, and sorry to you've been having problems with the internet there. We look forward to catching up with you on the club meeting on Wednesday evening. And also, you probably missed that I'm not running the net next Thursday evening because early on the Friday morning I'm going down to Bletchley Park and then on to the RSGB annual convention down at Milton Keynes for Saturday and Sunday there. So thanks for your contribution this evening there, Bob, and take care. I look forward to catching up with you soon. Okay, and thanks to everybody on the YouTube channel who's been listening with us this evening. And I'm now going to pass it over to G4IWO to do the wraps before we pass it over to the pictures there. Over to you there, Nick, please. M0AG.
M0AG in the group from G4IWO. First of all, big thank you, Jeff, M0AUG, to your chairing of the net again. Do a great job, as I know our other Jeff, ON8NC, will also do next week. But it's been lovely tonight to hear some different issues and perspectives from people who are part of our growing little group here in Pennine Ham. Just very quickly going back to the big wheel, of course, the beauty of that antenna is that it's horizontally polarized. So if you want to work single sideband and CW on horizontal polarization, that's definitely an antenna to think about. And of course, it has the other advantage of being omnidirectional. So you don't have any places around the antenna where there is no signal coming out. And that was the subject of the debate between Ken, myself, and the guy in the UK who built this, who was questioning some of the evidence presented on the VMO channel as to the operation of that antenna. But as you say, the signal that he puts out from Bavaria, Jeff, is huge, according to Ken, and it's definitely something that a number of us will explore. I've no doubt of that at all. So we've got two meetings coming up. Next week, we've got the report from the Hamfest, where Jeff, myself and Ken can all give our own little perspectives on it. And I've spliced together my own video, a pile of photographs, and I've taken one or two bits of some of the other videos, some of which Mike was referring, DL1 BJW is referring to earlier, just to give a rounded picture. But I think it's true to say that Ken, Jeff, and myself, none of us disappeared for very long. So we were basically stuck at the stall chatting to people, which was great. It's what we wanted. But I didn't have an opportunity to do one of the things I wanted to do, which was to go around with a microphone and talk to a few people on some of the big stands. But never mind, we'll do that next year. So that's next week. And then the week after, I know it's going to be an interesting talk from one of our members, Bob, GM4DLG, who went on a one-man de-expedition to ZL and the Pacific Islands. And he's going to talk about how he got on with his de-expedition, and in particular, how he got on with his attempts to work DX on 80 meters with simple vertical antennas on the beaches of some of the places that he visited. So with that, I wish everyone on the net tonight a very pleasant evening, 73s to you all, and also a very pleasant day or evening to those on YouTube who catch up during the week. Thank you for coming in and looking, and hope to see you again. This is Nick, G4IWO, Pennine Club Chair, passing the microphone back to Jeff, M0AUG.
M0AUG returning, and thanks very much for your contribution this evening, Nick. And we're all looking forward to next Wednesday's meeting on when we can look a little bit more around the show there. I was fortunate in the fact that I stayed over on the Friday evening and was able to spend some time on the Saturday with some friends of mine from the Oldham Radio Club as well. So it was a good weekend as far as I was concerned. So I'll say 7-3 for now to all the people on the YouTube channel and those who are looking to watch in the future. 7-3s to everybody who came on the net this evening, and it was either 13 or 14 who joined us today. So that's very, very good indeed. So I'll now pass it over to Keith and then to Jeff to send the usual pictures that we get on the D-Star at the end of the evening. Send free, everybody. Keith, both left and right on side.
EM4J.
Keith also.
Jeff M0, did you say you've got some missing on the left and right hand side?
Yeah, some missing on the left and right, and then just one blob in the centre, Keith.
Okay, stand by, I'll send it once more.
Thanks, Keith.
M0AUG.